My videos don't necessarily promote one religion. My views and opinions aren't meant to change the minds, opinions, or beliefs of others. Watch with an open mind. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, entertainment, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement is intended. We continue to uncover the profound wisdom within the timeless scriptures. Take care, and God bless.
We are all storytellers. From the moment we wake up until our heads hit the pillow each night, we construct a narrative of our experiences. But there's one major problem with this constant storytelling. Too often it becomes a blame fest, pointing fingers at others and external circumstances as the root cause of our problems. Even worse, this blame game doesn't just affect us as individuals. It seeps into our workplaces, our communities, and even our global politics. This finger-pointing epidemic has become so ingrained in our culture that it seems like an inescapable part of the human experience. Blame is a primal urge, as old as humanity itself. Think back to the first time you did something wrong as a kid. Maybe you broke a vase or forgot your homework. What was the first thing you learned to do? Find someone to blame. It was an instinct that helped you survive, deflecting responsibility to avoid punishment. And somewhere along the line, that instinct got wired into our brains. Now, imagine if your parents never corrected you on that instinct, if they kept blaming you for the broken vase instead of guiding you to a solution. What kind of person would you be today? This is why our stories matter. They shape who we are and who we become. As we grow older, the stakes get higher. Imagine a business deal gone south or a friendship that turned sour. Suddenly, pointing fingers feels a lot less childish and a lot more justified. The problem is when we use it as an excuse to not grow. We stay stuck in our mistakes instead of learning from them. Blame can feel comforting because it externalizes our problems. It creates a tangible enemy we can point to instead of confronting the discomfort of looking inwards. But here's the paradox. While we might feel momentarily justified in our condemnation, it comes at a steep cost. This constant tendency to condemn robs us of something far more valuable than our peace of mind, our power. We lose the ability to change our circumstances and become entangled in a web of our own making. Blame closes doors to understanding and keeps us from finding common ground. It builds walls between people instead of bridges. It stunts our personal growth and keeps us from becoming the best versions of ourselves. Blame thrives in the social media world. A tweet, a meme, a viral post can amplify our anger and our tendency to lash out. It makes it easier to jump to conclusions and paint someone or something as the villain of our story. And once we've pinned that label on someone, it takes a Herculean effort to peel it off. But the truth is, our addiction to blame has a high cost. It erodes trust in our relationships, hindering our ability to form deep connections. It hampers progress in our communities and our ability to solve collective problems. And it leaves us mentally and emotionally drained, stuck in a cycle of anger and resentment. If blame is the default setting of our minds, then life becomes a series of obstacles created by external forces beyond our control. In this narrative, we are not agents of our own destiny, but rather victims of circumstances. And this victimhood mindset robs us of our power and our potential. Every time we choose blame over growth, we miss an opportunity to learn and evolve. Instead of seeing challenges as stepping stones, we let them knock us off course. We fail to develop resilience, empathy, and the ability to navigate through life's inevitable storms. This isn't just about personal loss. It impacts everyone around us. Blame festers like a disease, corrupting the very fabric of our society. It fuels division, hatred, and violence, turning neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend. It's easy to get lost in this cycle, to surrender to the seductive allure of blame. But what if we could rewrite our stories? What if we chose accountability over condemnation, responsibility over resentment? Let's explore this idea further. Accountability. It's a word that strikes fear into the hearts of many, yet holds immense power to transform lives. At its core, accountability means owning your actions, not just the consequences of your actions. It's easy to blame the end result, but true accountability lies in taking responsibility for the part you played in creating that outcome. Think of accountability as a lens that magnifies your power. It allows you to see the influence you have over your circumstances, even when those circumstances seem bleak. In a world that often feels uncontrollable, accountability offers a surprising sense of liberation. It shifts your perspective from being a helpless victim of fate to being the author of your own journey. By acknowledging your role in every situation, you reclaim your agency. This might seem like a daunting shift, especially if you've spent most of your life pointing fingers. But remember, this isn't about wallowing in guilt or self-recrimination. It's about recognizing the full scope of your influence. It's about acknowledging that while you may not be able to control every external factor, you can always control your response. And that control is immensely empowering. Taking responsibility for your actions doesn't mean shouldering the burden of blame. It's not about piling on self-reproach or dwelling in a state of constant condemnation. Rather, it's about recognizing the role you played in creating a situation, not in order to punish yourself, but to understand how you can influence a different outcome next time. It's about learning, evolving, and growing from your experiences rather than being defined by them. Here's the beautiful thing about accountability. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned and it can start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in a single grand gesture. You can begin with baby steps. Notice when you're about to assign blame. It might be a reflex, but with practice, you can pause that instinct. Ask yourself, what part did I play in creating this situation? Be honest with yourself about your role, however small you might think it is. Then ask, what can I do differently next time? These questions aren't meant to beat yourself up. They're designed to open your eyes to your power. When you start taking small, intentional steps like these, you'll begin to see changes in your life. Relationships will improve. Your career will flourish. Your mental health and well-being will benefit. It's like removing a dense fog that's been obscuring your vision. Suddenly, you can see more clearly not only what you want to achieve, but how you can get there. Embracing accountability isn't about dwelling on the past. It's about building a better future. When you commit to personal accountability, you set in motion a ripple effect that touches every aspect of your life. Your immediate relationships become more honest and open. Trust deepens, bonds strengthen, and you'll find yourself surrounded by people who respect and support you. Think about your closest relationships. Friendships, romantic partnerships, family bonds. What would they look like if you approached them with a mindset of accountability? Instead of harboring resentment or playing the blame game, imagine communicating openly, honestly, and with a willingness to understand. Your career, too, would benefit immensely. Accountability fosters a strong work ethic, reliability, and excellent judgment. It's the cornerstone of leadership and the key to professional success. Picture your dream job, the one where you're not just employed, but valued, respected, and trusted. This dream is within reach when you embrace accountability. Your personal well-being also thrives when you break free from the shackles of blame. Stress levels drop, mental clarity increases, and you'll find yourself more engaged and enthusiastic about life. It's as if a weight has been lifted, replaced by a lightness that comes from knowing you're in control. But the benefits don't stop at your own life. When you commit to accountability, you set a ripple in motion that affects your community and the world at large. It contributes to a healthier society, stronger relationships, and more effective problem solving. Imagine a world where everyone took responsibility for their actions. The problems we face today, from climate change to social injustice, seem less insurmountable. When you hold yourself accountable, you also inspire others to do the same. It becomes a catalyst for positive change, not just in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. Accountability is a journey, not a destination. It's a continuous process of learning, growing, and adapting. Just as you wouldn't expect to master a new language overnight, don't expect yourself to become completely accountable instantly. There will be missteps, moments when you fall back into old patterns of blame or justification. The key is to recognize these moments, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Every time you catch yourself slipping, ask for forgiveness, make amends, and recommit to the journey. If you're struggling to embrace accountability, consider reaching out for help. A therapist or counselor can provide a safe space to explore your tendencies to blame and develop healthier patterns of relating to yourself and others. Don't go it alone. Accountability always starts with me. There are no egos in accountability. This idea challenges the deeply ingrained human tendency to evade responsibility. We all have the capacity to take ownership of our actions and their consequences. It calls for a shift in perspective, a movement away from the comfort of external blame towards the empowering realm of personal responsibility. This idea encourages us to confront our shortcomings directly, to acknowledge our mistakes without making excuses. It promotes a culture of sincerity and commitment. Final thought, start with you. This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the essence of personal growth and transformation. It serves as a reminder that any significant change or improvement must begin with the individual. You have the power to shape your own destiny. Take responsibility for your decisions, both past and present, and commit to making positive changes. By starting with yourself, you set in motion a chain reaction that can positively impact those around you. Embrace the challenge, start with you, and witness the ripple effect of change.
Thank you all for watching this here.